Kevin Smith, last year at AGV, you said the Bar Crusher then would put a horn on a jellyfish. What about the 615 HT? What's that going to do for you?
Oh, it's absolutely no different. This is just balls to the walls.
I love it.
Yeah, there's no other way to explain it actually. The ride is just something else. It's got wow factor and X factor and everything built into it. I mean, there was probably not many times where I was sitting at 3/4 throttle. It was just foot flat basically all the time. So.
And that's a 150 Suzuki on the back of that, so foot flat all the time. That's moving along too.
Yeah, and then the chop and then, I mean, it just creams it, absolutely creams it. So yeah, it's all round extremely happy with this boat. Fantastic.
Hey John, before you get off that Bar Crusher, you better tell us a bit about it. The 615 hardtop. What do you reckon?
Well, I'd like to stay on it, mate. It's great fun, isn't it?
Mate, I haven't driven this one yet, but if it's half as good as the one we had last year, it'll certainly put a smile on my face.
It's a lot lighter, you know, because it's smaller, obviously, but it feels much more nimble. It feels like a Lotus Super 7. You know, the other thing felt like a Lamborghini, I suppose. You know, it's a bit bigger. This is very, very light, very nimble, and goes like, like it goes very quickly. Yeah.
You can say it, mate. It goes like the clappers, doesn't it?
A shower of shit, mate. Yeah, like I say, very nimble. Really good very good in the following sea. Into a head sea with a bit of swell, you've got to be a little bit careful because it likes to get airborne very easily. Yeah. That's fun, of course, but if you're not expecting it, it can be a bit of a surprise. But
well, we've been paid to push them to their limits, mate.
Yeah, well, that's what he told me. He said keep going faster. But yeah, that's what it was all about.
Angelo, look at this. It just gets better and better on the Gold Coast.
Sure does. It's just a shame it's flattening out there at the moment.
Although there's actually a little bit of swell, and with the run-out tide, there's actually a little bit of good stuff to play with.
To the southeast, we found a little bit. We got the Bar Crusher in the air just once, got the prop out of the water, in typical Bar Crusher fashion. I know this boat fairly well. We tested it some months back in Western Port in some pretty crappy conditions, and we thought back then that it was a really nice thing, and everything we did today just reinforced that.
How's the testosterone? You've been out in a Bar Crusher.
Yeah, mate. The testosterone's roaring at the moment. Yeah, certainly an exciting boat to drive.
It is exciting, and it's nimble. It moves, it floats, it glides, and it goes like a hammer, doesn't it?
It does too. It lives up to its name. You know, with the bar crossing thing, you can just put the hammer down and turn it, and it just goes around.
Absolutely, mate. There's just so much to talk about with them. The whole setup I really like, just in little things too. The opening windscreen. Yeah. It's the only one here that does it. It's a great idea.
Yeah, it makes a big difference, doesn't it? And we had it open even going through the seaway in the bar today, and we didn't actually take any water through. Obviously, it's not hugely rough or anything, but yeah, I thought it was a nice dry ride as well.
Yeah. One thing I noticed was, you can really play around with the trim a lot to make the boat perform, but it's actually not that critical. You can make a few mistakes and the hull will forgive you.
Yeah, you can do it. It's very forgiving, it's for sure.
The new hull design seems to work very, very well.
Yes, yeah, definitely. That Gen 2.
Yep. And the presentation all around, look at the finish on.
Yeah, and one thing that really appealed to me too is that you can just fully hose out the boat at the end of the day.
Yeah.
How good's that?
Yeah.